Hi, everybody, and welcome to Evolve Love. I am your host, Amanda, and I am so happy that you have found this podcast. Are you looking for daily inspiration, motivation, and wisdom to help you begin your day feeling supported and uplifted with love? Well, you have come to the right place. This podcast is a space of encouragement where you can be held in your self-development because in order to evolve, you need love, and it begins here with you. Now, let's get into today's episode. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our final episode of this week. It is Friday, it is Venus Day, and if you tuned in last week to Evolve Love's first week, you would have heard about the energy alignment for Friday being connected to the traits of the planet Venus, which include love, beauty, romance. And in today's episode, we are sticking with those themes. However, it's going to be a little different because today is also a new moon in Aries. A new moon is the start of a new cycle. So a lot of the time with new moons, we set intentions, we prepare for the cycle ahead. It's the fresh start. And on Wednesday, we had the Edge card. We were ending a cycle, preparing for a new. And here we are at the new cycle. So yes, this could be a beautiful time to start fresh, to start new. But the other thing about the new moon that I wanted to focus on in today's topic and conversation here is the darkness. So the new moon is the darkest part of the phase. It is when the sky is in darkness. And so when we think about this, when we think about something being completely dark, I also think of quiet. I think of taking time to just be quiet. And I know that that is very difficult to do. Believe me, I'm a mom. I know it's very hard to find the quiet, and it's something that I so strive to find. And sometimes it is late at night that I find the quiet. And a few years back, I always try to circle it back to some of the pieces that I've choreographed in my life, but I had choreographed a piece a few years back, and the concept of it was around this idea of getting quiet. And in this particular show, the theme was based around quotes. So we found quotes that we were inspired by. I think it was actually specifically haikus. This was another work that I did for my friend's company. I know that I've already spoken about her company before, but they were really impactful pieces, and they've stuck with me. The haiku that I had picked for this show was, "In a noisy world, create some space for silence. Only then you hear." And it's by an unknown author. I would love to know who the author was to give full credit because it's just so beautiful. I'm going to read it again. "In a noisy world, create some space for silence. Only then you hear." And so for me, when we talk about this darkness, when we talk about this quiet, it's so much more than that. It's going inward. It's finding yourself again, or continuing to find the self that was always there. So being a day of beauty, where can we find this beauty in the darkness? And for me, taking the time to sit in quiet, to have reflective time, that is so beautiful. Truly, that is something that is so sought after. I just need that time to recalibrate, to reconnect. And it's so interesting because sometimes in the silence, we're waiting for that answer to drop in right then and there. It's kind of like now that we have Amazon, you expect the delivery to arrive in that moment. We have lost, in a way, I think, the patience of the waiting because so much is accessible to us so quickly. So if you're in that silent moment and it feels awkward, continue to sit with it. Something that I'm going to try through this weekend and through this day, especially being the new moon, is I want to meditate in silence. I don't want to have a guided prompt. I just want to sit. And yes, I know that there's going to be a period of time where I'm like, okay, is it over? Okay, is it time to move along? Is it time to go do this? But the problem with that is that that continues to show that urgency to jump to the next thing, to get the next thing. And I really want to just live within that moment, in that stillness, in that darkness, in that quiet. When we have that space and time to connect for ourselves, even like we've been talking this week in our flow state, I feel like it really gives us the space to allow for more than we thought possible to jump in. Because if we continue in an autopilot type of manner, we're just kind of going about the things that we always do in the same way, at the same pace, and the same speed. But if we were to take the time to release that, think of all the beauty that could come in. Think of all the beauty that could drop in. And maybe nothing comes in this time. Maybe nothing comes in this week. But you know what you are doing yourself is you're giving space for yourself. You're giving time for yourself. And that is truly such a beautiful thing. I know that this wouldn't really be considered filling your time with silence, but this might be a great time to start a new book. And when we start this new book, something I'm going to ask is, do you have a pile of books or a shelf of books where you have all of these books that you're going to read at some point, but you haven't gotten around to? Take one of those. It doesn't have to be a nonfiction or a fiction book, whatever it is that's calling to you. See what one is meant for you. Go for that one. And maybe today in this new moon, we're going to begin this book in this new cycle. To me, reading is beautiful. It's a beautiful activity. It's something that I love doing. And if you don't have a book available to you, going to the library, or a lot of libraries now are on like the Libby app, I believe it's called, and you can get books downloaded right to your phone. Sometimes different music streaming companies have audiobooks, free audiobooks, and same thing. Go through that list. Do you have like a bunch of books that you have saved onto your audiobooks list and you haven't listened to? See if you can pick one. Because what is so interesting, this always happens for me. I don't know if it happens for you, but I tend to pick a book exactly when it's meant for me to read it. I could have books for years. People gift me books. I buy myself a book, but you know what? It's not until a certain time that I pick it up that I realize this was the moment I had to read this. And this happened to me like quite recently, actually. I had been recommended the book Mary Magdalene Revealed years and years and years ago. And I'm like, okay, yep. So I put it in my Spotify, like saved audiobooks area and didn't touch it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll get to it someday. Yep. And then this week I started it. And wow, every message that's in it, I needed to hear at this time. This was the time that I needed to read it, that I needed to listen to it. And though for me, I'm listening to an audiobook, and that's not necessarily silence, for me, it's a quiet activity that really helps me to expand my mind that doesn't take a whole lot of effort for myself. So with this new moon, with this darkness, with this day of beauty, after a week focusing on being in flow, being spontaneous, taking the leap, today, yes, we are beginning a new cycle, but let's take the start of this new cycle in the quiet, in the silence even, and see how much space that could open up for yourself. When we open that space, sometimes it is exactly what we needed for those answers and inspirations to drop in. And sometimes it's not. But those are the times too that we are just giving back to our bodies with rest. And that is also loving ourselves just like we would do here on a Friday for Venus Day. I want to thank you all so much for listening to this week of Evolve Love. I'm so excited to continue sharing with you. I would love to also hear from you if this is really landing with you, or if you have any thoughts or questions or ideas. You can always send me a DM at _Evolve Love over on Instagram. I would love to chat. I would love to share and hear what you're thinking. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I'm so excited to talk with you again on Monday.